It's time, and this week I really mean it. Although I don't know if the audio is syncing or not. We're just going to have to, I don't know, go with it. It's time for the update. Westside Fantasy Premier League week number 5 is in the books, and it's time to talk about it. Okay, I just want to clear up something about the Adrian Peterson, Arian Foster trade. I want to point out a couple of things. Arian Foster did not cost me the game this week. A lot of other things cost me the game this week. And Adrian Peterson did not cause Ruff the Passer to win his game this week. Quite the contrary, he underperformed his projections. So, I still assert that Arian Foster straight up is not so bad for Adrian Peterson, but that's a debate we can have. Actually, that's not. That's it. Time will tell, won't it? Anyway, so let's get down to business here. We have definitely got some separation between the various teams, and I want to talk about it. First, we'll talk about the epic struggle between Laser Spaniels and Brutta Is. Now, coming into the game, both teams are 1-3. Going out of the game, Laser Spaniels is 1-4. That's my lousy team, and Brutta Is 2-3. Now, how did we get to the point where 71 points is all the points I'm scoring? Well, I'll tell you how. Mark Clayton gets injured. Mario Manningham does his vanishing act once again for 0 points. And the St. Louis defense, don't ask me why I put the St. Louis defense in there, had 1 whole point. Brady was on bye. All my other Patriot players were on bye. Vernon Davis and Mike Williams were my bright spots, 16 points, 13 points. 71, not enough. Over on the Brutta side, it wasn't exactly an overwhelming performance. 15 from Schaub, which is a sort of un-Schaub-like. Roddy White, though, had 16, and Michael Bush from Oakland had 19. And all of that added up to 111. It raises Brutta Is to 2-3, and it drops my ragtag collection of misfits to 1-4. And everyone's getting fired this week. I'm firing everyone. I'm releasing like half of my team because they all suck. As I told someone yesterday in the on the message board, sometimes I do things simply to make this league more interesting. You guys are boring. All right, moving on. Some of you, sometimes. All right, so now this was a good one. Smack Attack against Smell This. If you could ever be said to be watching a fantasy football game, I was watching the fantasy football game, and here's why it was so interesting. So last night, if I'm not mistaken, the only player that Smack Attack had left in the game was Brett Favre. And so he needed to get something along the lines of 35 points to win this game. Along about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, he actually had what was in the lead with about 104 points to Drew's 103.3. Then Favre threw an interception, and he dropped it back below the point total that he needed to win. But then he went back and he got some more, and he ends up winning 106.6 to 103.3. Those are both excellent stations, by the way. Cool 103.3. My name is Drew Bolden, and I'm looking down at you reading the news. Anyway, Drew drops to 3-2. And it's also, I want to point out, the first time he hasn't posted a really good point total. And Smack Attack raises himself up to 2-3 despite having 2 guys sitting on the bench because of buys. So if anyone knows if a guy is not paying attention, I mean, maybe we shouldn't tell him, but I feel kind of bad because it's nice to have him in the league. So he's put guys on buy in the game for the last 2 weeks in a row. So I'm just saying. Jolly Rogers and Ferocious Finnick. Now this was a close game too. This all came down to, who was it? It all came down to somebody. Oh, I know. It was Jeremy Macklin on Sunday night. Jeremy Macklin needed to get about 6 points, and he got 9. So Jake was sitting in the kitchen, just watching TV, and Tommy was texting messages saying, "Oh my gosh, he's about to win." Anyway, it all worked out. Let's see. Despite Demaryius Thomas getting negative 0.8 points, bringing shame to his family, Thomas Jones getting a whopping 1.9. Jake did have 53 from Tony Romo. And if you're wondering who's got Hakeem Nicks, the brand new star of the New York Giants, it's Jake. Over on the other side, Eli Manning got 44, 25 from Chris Johnson. That's kind of what you'd be hoping for. 15 from Antonio Gates. It adds up to 125 to 128. Jake wins. He's 3-2. Tommy drops to 2-3. The Jolly Rogers, a little less jolly today. All right. Then we had Ghetto Superstar against You Betcha. Now, this was the Whomping of the Week. I thought I was in for the Whomping of the Week, but no. This is the Whomping of the Week on both sides. Oh, well, no, that's not true. It's the highest point total, but not the lowest. And that's the result of Ghetto Superstar And Miles getting 27 from Flacco, which is another great. 23 from Miles Austin, 30 from Matt Forte. Matt running is my forte. 14 from Jason Witten, 10 from Marquez Colston, 13 from Rob Baronas, and 21 from the Chicago defense. 160. Basically no weak spots on that team. Well, CJ Spiller. You Betcha, on the other hand, got 34 from Breeze. By the way, is everyone as surprised that New Orleans looks, human this year? So it's only 2 from Ocho Cinco. Only 2 from Des Bryant. But 10 from LaDainian Tomlinson. 11 from Peyton Hillis. Love that guy. There's something about that guy that's like, he should be wearing a leather helmet or something. I love it. Vicente Chianco, once again, did very well in the naming department, but not as well in the football department. 1 from Devin Hester. Tennessee 15. 94.5. Not terrible, but when you're facing 160 points from the Ghetto Superstar, it ain't going to happen. So Ghetto Superstar goes up to 3-2, and You Betcha drops to 2-3. Jamarcus Bentley and the I. Now this was a one where Jamarcus Bentley could have solidified his lead in the Division del Sur, but it did not happen because he only got 23 from Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, as we call him. 11 from Calvin Johnson, just 2 from Greg Jennings, 0.00 from Greg Olson from Chicago. Not that good. 11 from Santana Moss, and also a funky bass line, where I guess he's not really a bass player, but guitar player. I don't know. I was trying to do a Santana thing. Didn't work. Sebastian Janikowski with 11, and also is most likely, based on his name, to be a Bond villain, I think. And New Orleans with 11. That's 91. Now, the I got 36 from Aaron Rodgers, who then promptly went down with injury. 16 from Terrell Owens. So if you wanted to know whether to go with Batman or Robin, I don't know which of them was Batman, which one's Robin. But anyway, Terrell Owens is the one. 14 from the newly minted, recycled Randy Moss. 19 from LaShawn McCoy. 0 from Jermichael Finley and an injury. Tim Hightower, not very much. But it all adds up to 115. The I is now 4-1. How about that? And the final game of the week is DeBiz against Ruff the Passer. Pay no attention to that. DeBiz came in at 1-3 and dropped to 1-4 because despite scoring 121 decent points, Ruff the Passer just had a little too much. Phillip Rivers got 52, 16 from Michael Crabtree. Where's he been for the last 2 years? 12 from Steven Jackson, 10 from Adrian Peterson. 10 from Adrian Peterson, but wait a second. I thought he was going to save the team. 12 from Zach Miller, 10 from David Akers, and 21 from Philadelphia. I'm teasing, obviously. 148, that's a pretty awesome score. Over on the other side, Ray Rice is 27. What is with that guy all of a sudden? Huh? Excellent performance. Well, shiver me timbers. Nick Folk, the Jets kicker, got 19 points last night. That's pretty good. But it wasn't enough. The kicker wasn't enough to overcome 148 points from Ruff the Passer. And Ruff the Passer goes to 4-1. DeBiz goes to 1-4. All right. So where are we in terms of the standings? Well, we've got a 2-way tie atop División del Norte. Ruff the Passer, under the tutelage of Rob, and the I under the tutelage of Mike, are both 4-1. Ruff the Passer has the points advantage, and he also... Oh, no, he doesn't. I'm sorry. He also, yes, he has the most points scored in the league so far as well. Over in Division del Sur, we've got 2 teams at 3-2, Ghetto Superstar and Jamarcus Bentley. So that is Miles and Phil. But I have to say the Jolly Rogers have scored a ton of points. The Jolly Rogers have scored almost as many points as the number 1 team in the league. Just been a little less lucky, 2-3, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So next week, what is the rivalry game of the week? Well, I'll tell you in just a second. Should it be the Frenchman? The Irishman? For no particular reason, it's the I and Smell This. You guys are bitter rivals and you hate each other. Mike, Drew, start making up stuff to say about each other that impugns each other's parentage or something. Mike and Drew, you're the rivalry game of the week. All right, folks, that's it. It's another good week of fantasy football. A lot of crazy stuff happening in the NFL. I have no idea what any team can do in the NFL this year. It seems like it's all crazy, topsy-turvy. We used to know who was good, but now we don't. But that makes it fun. All right, that's it, guys. Bye.